Well, hello viewers. I had a request to do a breakdown and cleaning video of the H&K VP9, so I want to go ahead and just do a real quick video for you on it. A couple of things about the gun. I'm going to just go over kind of the general breakdown of it and some of the some kind of overall cleaning tips for you on a gun like the VP9. First thing we're going to do is remove the magazine. This is a snap cap, guys, so don't panic. Remove the magazine, make sure that the gun is clear. We have a clear chamber. So the first thing you're going to do with the VP9 is you're going to lock the slide to the rear, and you're going to utilize this takedown lever right here. Just pull that down in order to take the gun apart. Once that's down, just go ahead and release the slide. And when it gets to this point, you're going to pull the trigger and the gun is going to come apart. Two basic components here. You've got the frame and the slide, and we'll go over them individually. So next thing you're going to do to disassemble the gun is you're going to remove the recoil guide spring. And to do that, all you have to do is press down on it a little bit and it'll pop right out. From there you're going to remove the barrel in hand. So now you have a fully broken down VP9 pistol. A couple of things about the gun when you talk about cleaning it, that type of thing. There's a couple schools of thought, but I'm just going to give you my opinion. But one of the things that I see quite often is guns that are over lubricated. And so if you take your gun apart, see if I can show you this real as best I can. If you've got a bunch of oil and lubricant that's visible in the gun here, what that is going to cause is going to cause a situation where grit and dirt and lint and all that other stuff is going to accumulate in that lubricant. What I normally recommend is that you should be able to feel lubricant but not necessarily see it. If you're using some type of high quality gun oil, just wet down a patch or even use your finger and just lubricate. What you want to do is lubricate any place where you're going to have metal on metal contact with the gun. If you open it up and it's just dripping with oil, which I see a lot, or if it's to the point where you see lubricant sort of seeping through between the frame and the slide, or where it's accumulating on the back of the gun here from the rails, you've over lubricated your gun. Okay. So what you would normally do at this time is if you've got some hoppies or some type of carbon break free, that type of thing, is just wet the gun down. What you want to be able to do is just clean out all of the gunk that's in there. One thing that's very important, one part that's very important to do is to clean it, make sure that the chamber is nice and clean, that there's no grit or anything, especially behind the extractor. Make sure that that all of it is cleaned up, as much carbon as you can removed, and then lightly lubricate your slide. From there you're going to do your barrel. What you want to do with your barrel, as you can see, nice and clean. Make sure your feed ramp is nice and clean. You're going to probably run a bore brush through here to make sure that all of the carbon deposits are removed, and then come back through with a couple of patches just to get all the residue out there. Whenever you're doing your barrel, that's what you want to see basically when you're done. Nice and clean. No obstructions, no grit, anything like that, especially in the chamber on the feed ramp. From there, again, don't over lubricate, just a nice, again, I can feel this is slick, but you don't want to necessarily, I've seen these come out of guns and they're literally dripping in oil. And the problem with that is it's no big deal if you're just storing the gun, but if you actually shoot it and carry it, all that oil is going to accumulate grit and grime and create a situation where it could foul the gun to the point where you may have performance issues. Again, nice and clean. Alright, your recoil guide spring again, just a little dab will do you, but just a little tiny bit of lubricant down on the guide rod itself, and you do not want this thing dripping again with oil. Just a couple dabs of oil, and then cycle it through the gun, and then wipe it down, so you don't have a lot of whole lot of lubricant on there. The goal of this would be to be able to drop this thing in sand or whatever, and be able to shake off whatever debris is on there and not have it adhere. If this was coated in oil and you were to drop it in the sand or something like that, you'd spend the rest of your adult life trying to get the sand out of all the little nooks and crannies out of there. And the last is the frame. Again, frame on a polymer gun is kind of neat. Very first thing I'll do with the frame is just wipe it down. It's amazing how much will come off the frame just by wiping it down with a towel. Biggest things that you want to be aware of as far as cleaning is make sure that your frame rails are nice and clean and that they're lubricated. Again, there's no visible lubrication on there, or shouldn't be, but when you run your finger over it, it's slick. You can feel there's just a little dab of lubricant on there. And also, what you want to do is kind of visibly inspect this and see if there's anywhere on the frame. This one's not, and I don't see anything on here, but if you do see anywhere where the frame and the slide are kind of rubbing together, or there's some type of a mark somewhere on the gun. On the original Glock Model 22s, they were famous for having, you would see two metal divots that would begin to adhere right there and there on the slide, because when you fired the gun, every time the frame would actually flex slightly and it would impact the slide. If you do see an area like that, this one doesn't have anything like that, but if you do see an area, you may just want to add just a little bit of lubricant to those contact areas, just so that there's no issue with long-term wear. Okay, so to put it back together, I'm just going to go ahead and take the barrel. Barrel goes back into the slide just like that. Guide rod, just make sure the side with the notch goes towards the muzzle end. Again, that just clicks right in. And now you're ready to reassemble the slide and the frame. Again, when it comes back on, just depress the trigger as it comes through. Well, I say that now. Of course, make sure that's back. You can go ahead and lock the slide to the rear. Flip that switch back up and perform a function check. So make sure the gun is empty, trigger works, hold the trigger down, cycle the gun, trigger resets, good to go. All right. Well, that's my quick video on the VP9 breakdown and cleaning. If you have any questions, comments, please don't forget to post them or ask for me. Don't forget to like the video if you did like it, and don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Appreciate it, guys. We'll see you on the next one.